Walmart now, hippie. Yeah, my name is Henry Adams, and I bought some of this Peter Pan peanut butter about a month ago, and it says it's got salmonella in it. Do you know if it's got salmonella? I don't know if it got salmonella in it or not. I ain't never ate none. Look, now don't you get smart. I need to come over down today and get my money back. You need to send it back, mail it back to the people that made it. We don't have anything to do with that. Why can't I bring you and you give me my money back? Because you have to send it back to the company. I bought it from the Walmart. Now why can't I bring it back to the Walmart? Because Walmart is not accepting it. And you have to mail it back to the company. I don't care if y'all accepting it or not. I'm gonna bring it back over here today. I'm gonna put it on your counter. And you gonna give me $4.99. No, sir, we cannot do that. This is a mail. Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry. Well, I'll be coming over here today and getting my $4.99. Well, you will not be getting a refund, sir. How about I come over there and beat your ass, man? Sir, you shouldn't talk like that. I'm coming over here today and get my $4.99. Well, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna go post on y'all. Y'all don't know who you're messing with. I got salmonella. This done gave me the diarrhea. What you gonna do about the diarrhea? We don't know what we can do about it. Only thing we know, we can just give you a number. You can send it back and get your refund for a refund back, but you cannot bring it back to Walmart. If you call me sir one more time, I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna take your ass out of that door. Look here, I have a damn look at you and that damn salmonella too. Look here, don't bring this back to no damn Walmart. I done told you. I'll be over there in a minute. You ain't supposed to be getting ugly when it comes. Well, you might done got on my land, dude. Well, I will be over there today and somebody gonna get hurt. What you look like when you go? Well, I'll make sure I'll be standing at the door. What you look like? I am a black African-American Negro. Oh, praise you, Jesus. Well, I am a black African-American white woman. I'll be over there today. Bring it on. What time you be over? 4:30. Well, I'll be there. Bring it on, Papa. Mother. I got you. Get on my nerve. I'll be over there